I didn't hear universal questions,
I know I
so I'm not
missed.
sure if I heard any from either the beginning, from the very beginning or now. So we definitely want to input some kind of universal question.
Who here loves declarations? I'm trying to pull them up. Can't get to my other tab here. Who here loves declarations?
I love that you do affirmations. I would, however, move this to the end.
Hmm.
I would move this to the end.
Okay. Now we got to be where we are today, how Epiphany's coaching came to be. Is that okay with you? Drop that's okay in the chat. First, how many of you guys want to wake up in the
Okay, I love how you pause here because a lot of people don't wait for people to respond and they don't like that awkward silence. And
Mhm.
that actually shows that you have command of the room where you don't mind just waiting for to see if people say okay. So that's a good job there.
Are you guys familiar with the concept of golden handcuffs? It's where your success and your title and everything you're doing makes you feel like you're stuck and you can't leave. Drop golden handcuffs in the chat if you're familiar with that concept. I
Something a little bit stronger here would be, are you familiar with, how many of you are familiar with handcuffs? And then maybe describe a scenario and say, have them think about a scenario that they've been in golden handcuffs,
Mhm.
and then have them drop it in the chat, just to have them feel it a little bit more.
Yeah, that's good.
Giraffes and turtles.
You
Oh,
talking
you
about
talking about them? They like Bloods and Crips. It's crazy because they literally occupy the same space. They literally in the same region, they in the same area, they live in amongst one another. The difference is the perspective. See, when a giraffe is listening to a turtle, the problem is it has to bend his ear just to hear. But see, the turtle has to yell and get louder and louder and louder and louder in order to be felt and heard.
Did I do something?
And
Oh no. Where were we?
um
according from his perspective, it's a new
So let's
level
start
and
from
perspective that they'll never reach. And yet you feel the need to come down to their level. See, sometimes what they're saying, though, is important. The turtle is only reporting from its perspective. It's only reporting from what it sees and where it's at. But when you've been called to hire, you operate as if you were the boss, not the one who was hired. You operate as the one who was inspired and required to be respected because the turtle is only speaking from the perspective that it has. But see, that giraffe right there, if it literally falls into the trap of hearing what the naysayers are saying. See, the turtle doesn't have the perspective of the actual giraffe. Yeah, we ate the same food when we was young. Yeah, we did the same things when we was kids. But guess what? I'm grown now. I'm an adult and I've developed a perspective that I did not once have. So now, because if that giraffe comes down to that turtle's level, what happens is it's only going to lower its expectation and put itself in danger. Because that big old giraffe with that long neck, if it comes down and drops his head down, he's actually going to put himself in position to where he could potentially die. Because all of that blood that is flowing up that neck, as it comes down, its heart is no longer able to actually receive what it needs. Some of us need to stop giving what we don't have the opportunity to give right now because it is not an opportunity to hurt yourself. It is actually a distraction and a destination that deserves none of your attention. That doesn't mean that they're not valid from the perspective that they're coming from. It simply means that just because that's for you, that's for you. That is not for me. Why? Because I've been called higher. And my higher expectation, I don't expect you to understand if you have yet to elevate from where I used to be. If you know that you are not where you used to be, type I'm new in the actual chat because who you used to be is who you were. But who you are right now is who you.
All right, so let's pause. I love Anna saying that. She's like, I can totally see why this is too early. Can anyone else, let's just use it as a teaching moment. Drop it in the chat. Does anyone, Jared, what do you think? Or does anyone know, like, why do you feel this was not really the best place to put giraffes and turtles?
We haven't gotten far enough into the story.
Yeah, we haven't, first of all, we haven't even introduced two identities at all at this
hmm
point. So there's no identities. We need to shift their identities in the master class. So I haven't heard it yet. The point of the story, which the story is amazing, we're going to keep hearing it, is to have them lean into you, lean into your authority, for you to create desire for your system,
Mhm.
not necessarily to overcome objections yet in your
Mhm.
story. Your story is where you build authority and you build your credibility and you build that connection because you're going to take them through the pain of where they are currently. That's why you do the have you ever, how many of you, and they want to connect. And then so the story goes through that pattern of that pain, the hell, the moment this is your downfall. Then here's a point where you got to your breakthrough. And then out of that came your system. And then and then I know you're going to say it. We're going to say it earlier, but we're going to say it soon. But so right here, we don't need the Jurassic Turtles. We're going to need that later on as you begin to talk about your system, as you begin to do things, and turtle mindset starts to come in, or
Mhm.
naysayer mindset starts to come in. And that's why we use this bit to overcome that, because none of that has happened yet.
Makes total sense. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Been called to be. And if you're called for higher, then you got to change your perspective because you earned that. What you got,
Awesome.
Hannah?
Thank you so much. So you see how I was living this life that was just not who I knew I was supposed to be anymore. And then I got called into this moment and I had this holy envy. And if I would have listened to the naysayers, if I would have listened to the people around me, I would have stayed at a different level. So again, it could be for you a job, it could be for you a relationship, but what
With that, I love how you at least connect the naysayer to your story. So that's good because obviously they don't know what's going on here. So that was
it's
good,
so
right?
interesting, yeah, to watch it back because now I'm remembering how I felt in that moment and energetically I felt it like, oh no, I just totally lost the room and I gotta circle this back somehow because it was not placed correctly. So
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I'm happy how you're like at least bringing it back to like connecting naysayers back into your story.
thank
Okay.
you. Whatever it is, I want to call you higher today. So let's get back to now it's 2022. I realized I wasn't staying at my job.
And you see how you're like, let's get back to 2022. So we want to have them feel the story with no interruption. So
Hmm.
we don't typically do like a lot of bits in the story. We can
Hmm.
do a bit, very mini bit that teaches a lesson, but it's real brief and it's not really very obvious that this is a whole interruption of the story because you just want them to feel the story, feel the progression from the breakdown to the breakthrough to the system. Okay?